Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Islanders Never Say Die podcast. I'm your host, SunX, and with me today, as always, is our NHL analyst and expert, the grumpy old man. They say there's no shame to his game because he's always the same.
That's me, X. Good job, X. I like it.
I only had to say it in my head like 4 or 5 times before we started tonight to make sure for you, Grumpy, that I got it correct.
Well, dude, you got to do the intro right?
I know.
Yeah. So, is the show over? Is it already over? Do you not know?
No, show's not over. Sorry. There was something that popped up that I needed to read real quick. Sorry. Yes. So before we get to the show, let's go through some housekeeping real quick. If you guys enjoy the content here, and even if you do not enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, comment, so that way we can get the algorithm out to the masses. We want as many people watching.
Juice the algorithm, right? We want to juice the algorithm to get this content out to the masses. We don't want to algorithm out to the masses. We don't care about the masses.
Well, we do. Technically, we do. If we get the algorithm out to the masses, we get the views.
No, right? The algorithm does not. The algorithm has
the algorithm. Oh my gosh, you got me saying algorithm. The algorithm boosts.
Doesn't go out to the people.
It does.
The algorithm is to attract people.
That's right.
Yeah. So because we want to get this content out to the masses. Your intro was so good.
Same thing, Grumpy. It's the same thing. Anyway, we want to get the show out to as many people as possible. Please turn on notifications, like, subscribe, comments. That way we can accomplish that goal. How does that sound?
There you go. That's what I like, X.
All right. So, yeah, we usually shoot to run this podcast every Wednesday at 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're a little late today. Dog Z had a emergency bathroom break, so I had to take him out real quick. Then if you guys enjoy the content over here, you can go ahead and tune in to our other show that we have, which is the TJ and the Grumpy Old Man podcast. That is every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We did not have a show last week because me and Grumpy were out of town. But we will be back to
a wedding in the woods.
We will be back on schedule again this Sunday, talking about all college football, Red River Rivalry Bowl, everything, MLB playoffs, everything.
Hey, X, when was the last time you had a pimple?
The last time I had a pimple, I
Yeah.
don't know why.
I had one this morning, and I think it was from being in the woods. Got bit by some type of fungal bug or something. I don't know what the hell it
The
was.
mungle
But like
bug.
I had like right here on the, I'm like, what the hell is this? It started hurting.
Oh, I will say the nose pimples hurt really bad.
And I'm like, well, you know what I did this morning? Because it would bubble up. I'm like, ooh, I'm like, holy crap. I mean, it's been like forever, 50 years since I had a pimple, maybe not 50, but a whole lot of freaking years. And I went like this. I had to pop. I'm like, ah! And I yelled and screamed at it to pop that thing right out of there, boy. I had to do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the
They
hell is
hurt
going
really
on?
bad, though. I
They
know that
do.
for a fact.
It's a very sensitive area.
Oh, yeah.
Particularly if you have a smaller nose, it's even more sensitive. You got a big schnozola like you got, maybe it's not as sensitive.
Yeah, Grumpy. I can't catch a break with you. I literally cannot catch a break with you.
That's true. That's true.
Oh,
So, but we please hit the like and subscribe button.
yes.
Please
Like,
do.
subscribe, comment. We love the interaction in the comment. I love the interaction in the comments. Yeah, just enjoy it. So,
And we're going to be talking about Matthew Darche's interview with the media,
correct.
as well as our NHL predictions. We're going to see, hey, where's everyone going to rank? Where's everyone going to finish? And it'll be nice to check in at the end of the year just to see how wrong we are, as always. But maybe not so much this year. I was pretty good last year.
Let me ask a question about the Darche interview. If we play it, are we going to get like banned or whatever? Cancel? Like I
don't know. I think
shut down.
I
I
don't know
have
if
it up in case you wanted to play it. We don't have to actually play the interview. I was just going to ask before I actually showed it.
Well,
I
every
didn't know
time
if
I
you
get an
knew or
email
not.
saying your video has been demonetized. So, I mean, I think maybe we show NHL highlights. I don't know.
Okay,
I
so
don't
we
know if
won't
this
play. We won't
matters.
play the interview then. That is perfectly fine.
We don't, because I jotted down some bullet points about what he said.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, it was a lot of GM speak.
It absolutely was.
part.
I will say the one thing, and I did discuss this with you before the show, that I was very pleased with. You do not see a lot of GMs come out and actually speak to the media. At least in other sports, you don't. I don't know how regular it is in hockey because, of course, I'm a novice still. But I don't see it in football. I don't see a lot of GMs coming out and talking to the media in football. I don't see it really much in baseball. I just thought that was refreshing,
Well, particularly for this organization.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd heard like murmurs and, I'm sure they're not rumors, but that Lou never talked ever. He just kind of stayed in his little tower and did his thing.
If the team was playing well, like the first couple of years, you'd hear from him at the end of the year. And that's it. Now, when things were going off the rails, they bring him on MSG Network to talk for a couple of period interview to calm down the people. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And he get run over by a steamroller. But that's what they sent him out there for, because they heard the masses were getting a little restless. So he'd go out there and he'd tell, oh no, blah, 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 throw his line of Lou shit out there. And it just, it didn't go well. But that's how you know the team's in trouble, when Lou Lamoriello is coming out in season doing interviews with,
It's how you know it's red alert. It's red alert time.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what do you want me to go over my takeaways from it first, and then you can hop in?
Yeah, I mean, I know we're just going to touch on certain bullet points about what he spoke about.
Yeah.
What were was there any takeaways besides that? You were surprised he was doing an interview. Was there any takeaways on specifically that you heard? I mean, you watch other sports, so you kind of what GM speak is.
Yeah, I will say he's not going to badmouth anyone. I'll say the couple of takeaways that I had is Schaefer will be up with the big team. And I think he's going to be up with the big team for the rest of the year. He had stated, that his play and his performance has earned a spot on the team. That said, just from, don't get me wrong, the clips that he has and the games that I saw that he was playing in, he did look really good, but he did make, 18-year-old mistakes, right?
Right.
Made quite a few of those. So that said, I think he earned a spot on the team from the couple of select plays that he had, like obviously chasing down Rempe and stealing the puck. And then I don't know who the other guy was that he chased down for, I I think it was the Devils.
I thought it was one of those Flyer punks.
Oh yeah, sorry, for the Flyers. Yeah, he had the other chase down where poke check the puck away and stuff like that. So I mean, kid hustles, kid plays hard. I think we knew going in though that he was probably going to be a starter on the team. And again, as we said, hopefully it's not just to sell tickets. You can only trust. I did like the fact that he spoke, but you can only trust what a GM is going to say. So much. He's not going to come out and say exactly what he's thinking.
He seemed pretty happy to be there, didn't he?
He did. He absolutely did. He absolutely did. And he said, I know he said that, he's been preparing for this for a while, is what he did say in his interview, that he's been preparing for this for a while. That said, I think also he had mentioned, I think it was not
just real quick about Schaefer. I think Schaefer has absolutely earned his spot on the team. I think he's one of the best players on the team. It tells you about the talent level of the Islanders, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But sometimes, and I know they wanted him to play, and I know he wanted to play up with the big team. So if he's even close to being okay, and I think he's better than that, but if he was just close to average, they were going to keep him up. That was just a given. There's only been 4 guys like in the last 25 years as defensemen, first overall picks, who played the whole year on their team. And I
think he'll be one barring injury.
I think he'll absolutely be one. I don't know if it's good for him in the long run. If
I agree,
you kind of get used to losing or whatever. I don't know.
Does he lose that compete level a little bit?
I mean, I don't know. We're going to talk about it later. I don't think he'll lose the compete level, but you don't like to see a guy get into bad habits because he's not learning. I'm glad they're pairing with Scott Mayfield. I think that's good for his development. And he just needs to keep his head up, so to speak. You don't want him to lose that enthusiasm. You don't want him to make a lot of mistakes, so he starts pressing, and then he kind of shies away from doing what he's best at, which is be creative offensively. Because once he loses that, well, I mean, that's what makes him special, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't want that to happen. I just don't want him getting down on himself, so to speak, if things don't go well. And that can happen on a bad team. It really can. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're kind of looking for, from Matthew Schaefer this year. But I think he's absolutely one of the better players on the team. I'm on the record of saying I would love to see him play in college and just dominate there for a year or so, and then come up and just, jump right in, maybe be an all-star as soon as he jumps in the league. I don't think you're going to see that this year. And was there anything else that?
Yeah. Yes. A couple other things. He had discussed about Anthony Duclair. I know you call him the quitter, but he actually spoke very highly of him, Grumpy.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. You mentioned how he's not going to rip on his
yes.
players,
yeah. And that's why I said it with a smile. Yes.
And, the one thing about Anthony Duclair that he said that I just think is bullshit is he said that Anthony Duclair can play anywhere in the lineup.
Yes, he did say that. He did state that.
That's just horse shit. He can't play everywhere and anywhere in the lineup. If he's not playing in a scoring role on a scoring line, he's useless because he does not back check. He absolutely does not. He has no defensive positioning knowledge at all. He's a top 6 guy. Okay. And a quitter at that, but still he's a top 6 guy. That's kind of just the way you need to look at it.
He also discussed how, he had the conversation with Watt during the off season to kind of mend the,
they started him slow in camp because, the groin injury. If he was truly injured last year, how does he get okay to go back on the ice in the middle of the season?
Yeah.
How does that happen? I don't know. So, was that a mistake by the medical staff, or is it just horse shit?
It's BS. I think we discussed that like last show, how we absolutely thought that was BS, because guess what? Your medical staff, your physio would absolutely be canned if that was the case.
Okay.
They would not be playing. They would not have a job anymore.
They're absolutely covering for him, though.
Yes, they are. They are. And of course, Darche is not going to come out and be like, yeah, he's a quitter. Honestly, it would make me think more highly of Darche if he came out and said that, or came out and spoke the truth and was like, yeah, no, he absolutely lied about having the injury. But it is.
I just think
they're never going to do that.
He's got a little bit of dog in him. That's all I'm saying. And not the good kind of dog. Not the good kind of dog.
And then he also spoke about Emil the Eel Henneman's shooting ability. He really liked that in a couple of games. And then also talked about
he said that he had an elite shot.
Yes.
Now, what he did say, and I agree with, is, his compete level.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely mentioned that, he loved his compete level. Okay. And I think, that's what bottom pairing guys have. They are good compete. You have to. You cannot be lazy and be on the fourth line. The only reason you're on the team is because of your compete level. His shot's okay. He's not a great skater. He's okay on the forecheck. He's a fourth liner. That's what you expect from a fourth liner. Expecting him to be a first line player is a mistake. And they asked him if, this kind of validated the Dobson trade. I'm just like, no. There's no comparison between the player that the actual player the Islanders gave up and the actual player they got coming back. We don't know about the draft pick yet, but we certainly know about the players. There's no one who says, oh, Emil Henneman is just as good as Noah Dobson. Nobody says that because it's not true. But, he's a guy that he's liked for a long time. So that's a favorite for him. I mean, he's okay. I don't hate him. I like him as a bottom line player. I think he's fine. I think you're asking, it's a bridge too far putting him on first line now.
Yeah.
It just says the lack of talent the Islanders have in the top six, which it's been like that way for years.
They absolutely have a lack of talent. I agree. It's going to be a rough season.
You bring in a fourth liner on another team, and he's a first liner for your team. It means your team's not very talented.
Yep.
That's all it says.
And then also last thing I wanted to touch on was he discussed about I'm going to probably butcher his name, Shabanov.
Mm-hmm.
Discussed about how he is, eager to learn, has been meeting with the coaches and, having his own sessions with the coaches and going out and doing that himself to learn a little bit more, which I thought was nice to hear.
He liked his development over camp.
Yep.
Excuse me. His development throughout camp. Okay, great. And he wants to learn. Okay. Where's he playing right now?
Third line.
Okay. He's 5'0" nothing, buck nothing, and he's playing on the third line. And I don't think he's looked that great in games. I'm not saying give up on him. I'm just saying I don't think he's ready for the rigors of the NHL. He's just small and light, and he's not particularly fast. He's shifty, but I don't think he's particularly fast.
And I don't know if you wanted to see this. This is supposed to be the Islanders lineups before their flight for the Pittsburgh game.
Yeah, I do want to look at that. Yeah. It looks like what we expected. Horvat centering Drouin and the fourth liner Henneman.
The Eel.
Emil the Eel. Mm-hmm. Matty B centering the Toad-like below average Anders Lee and Kyle Palmieri. We knew that. Pajot centering Holmstrom and Shabanov. And your fourth line, I'm sorry, Duclair's not a third liner. He's a fourth liner. Cizikas centering Siplikov, your boy Siplikov, and Anthony Duclair, with the two extras being Gatko and McLean. I don't like those lines. I don't. I just hate them. And your defense pairing is Romanov and D'Angelo. Yikes. We knew that.
I think didn't we have Pajot? I thought we had Pajot on the second line.
No.
What are our thoughts?
Well, I wanted him to be a second line center.
Okay.
But, he's there. Matty B is going to be the second line center.
Yeah.
Pajot is a third line center. That's where his skill set is. Except for the 1 year before he came to us in Ottawa when we had to give a first and a second and a third round draft pick for him. For a third liner. He was a second line center in Ottawa that 1 year, and he was really, really good. I think Holmstrom should be higher up in the lineup, honestly. Even though he's been a whipping boy of mine, I'd rather have Palmieri on the first line, but Holmstrom out
on the second.
I'd have Holmstrom on the second line with Barzal and Lee, Palmieri playing with Horvat and Drouin, because Palmieri will go get the puck. And then Pajot with, honestly, Duclair and I almost want to say Siplikov, and then have your fourth line be, well, I guess you got to put Shabanov on the third line. I just don't see how he fits. But Pajot with Duclair and Siplikov, and then your bottom line be Cizikas, Shabanov, and Henneman.
Now, let me ask a question real quick. Do you think these lines are heavily influenced by Darche, or do you think this is all Wah?
No, I think they have in constant communication. I think Henneman maybe a little. I don't think he put pressure on him. I mean, I think Waz for the most part making up these lineups. It's an underwhelming lineup, though. I mean, I think that's fair to say.
When
right?
I guess, yeah, when you look at this team, do you think, oh, playoff contender?
No. I mean, just look at last year. You had Brock Nelson as your second line center. Matty B's playing on the first line.
The team looks, I would say, almost, and I don't know if you'd agree with this, downgraded from last year.
Absolutely downgraded.
Yeah.
Absolutely downgraded. You have D'Angelo was taking Dobson's place. That's a massive downgrade. Pelican Pulak they look slow. They look slow. Schaefer, of course, with Mayfield, and then your extra is Boquist, who doesn't really play defense. Your extras on the forward group are Mark Gatcombe and Kyle McLean. They're all the same guy. All the same guy. Actually, you could look at anybody on the bottom two lines and just say they're all the same.
Now, Grumpy, I did want to touch base on another thing that was discussed during the interview. He had mentioned about Isaiah George going down to Bridgeport, but also having the possibility later on in the year to make his way up to the big team. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
Injuries will make a determination if he plays up in the bigs this year. Someone gets hurt all the time. I'm in thorough agreement with him when he says he wants him to play max minutes.
Yes, he absolutely stated that.
I've been on record. That's what I want from him. That's what I want from Callum Ritchie. That's what I wanted from Matthew Schaefer. I want the younger guys, even if it means spending an extra year in the minors. This is not a team that's going to compete for anything this year. I'd much rather those guys develop properly as opposed to with the big team. When you develop guys at the big league level, sometimes you can really mess up, and you don't want that to happen. You just don't.
Yep, I agree. And he also talked about Callum Ritchie saying that he's a great talent and he's looking for. I guess there was a question asked about the prospects for this year, or I guess for the team and his thoughts. And he said that he thinks that we have a lot of really good young players and some players that are in juniors and stuff that can develop. And he also spoke very highly of Callum Ritchie as well.
Yeah. And what else does it tell you? He couldn't say about anybody who's ready to step onto the team. Matthew Schaefer, he's a guy, and Callum Ritchie. Okay, Callum Ritchie's not going to play with the team. He's going to be sent down to Bridgeport. There was no competition for spots this year. As usual, whatever you figured the lineup was going to be after the first little wave of free agency when they brought Drouin in and Shabanov, you knew what the team was going to be. I'm just surprised Duclair is back after last year's implosion. But other than that, this is what we expected. There was no surprise in camp. I think there were guys who were sent down to minors who look better than some of the guys who made the team and are in the starting lineup.
Let me ask a question to you here. This is kind of a hypothetical. How long do you think it's going to be before Duclair has another meltdown and they end up just releasing him?
I don't know. He might not have one. He might not have one, but who knows? I'm going to tell you what, he's not going to like playing on the fourth line. That much I can tell you.
You know what? Good. You quit on the team last year. You get what you get. Maybe you'll teach him a lesson. Don't quit.
I want him to succeed. He's not a fourth line player, though. He's not. That's not his skill set. He's got to be a guy in the top six.
Do you still want me to leave up the lineups sheet?
No, you can take them down. You can take them down.
Okay. All right, Grumpy. Those were pretty much the points that I had in my takeaways from the interview. Did you have anything else that you would like to add?
Yeah, there are a couple things that stood out to me. He talked about some of the guys on the injury front. Varley, they're saying, the injury, the surgery was, worse than we thought or whatever. So, but he's on the ice. So there's no timetable for Varley. That's never going to happen. Pierre Engvall, got to meet with a doctor next week. No timetable for him. And Callum Ritchie is week to week. Okay. Again, Callum Ritchie. I don't want Callum Ritchie, just like he didn't say that he said Isaiah George should be getting max time on the ice at Bridgeport. So should Callum Ritchie. I mean, Callum Ritchie has not played at Bridgeport either. I think maybe the tail end of last year when he came over from Colorado. Give him a full year or give him till the trade deadline when you move J.G. Pasho. That's what they should do. Don't force him in the lineup. They ask if he's a center or a winger. They see him as a center. I agree. He should be a center. And you want him optimally to come in and start as your third line center. And then after developing, maybe move up to a second line center. That's what you're hoping for him. And I'd have no problem with that. One thing he said, he talked about he thought the forward depth was, really competitive, the forward depth of the team. But is it talented enough? See, that's they're competitive. They're all the same guy, though. They were a team of third and fourth line sluggers. It's what the team is. That's why they're imminently
with the exception of a couple of players, like maybe two or three.
Horvat.
I would not consider Barzal a third line player on any team.
Horvat,
yeah,
right. Horvat, Barzal, Palmieri, I guess you could say, is a top six forward. On a good team, he's not, but on this team, he certainly is. But I'm talking about the
vast majority.
The third and fourth liner, and everybody in the minors. They're all the same. I'm not talking about, maybe Cole Eiserman or Eklund or any of these other guys, but they're not close to playing in the big leagues. I'm talking about the guys that are on the team now. So yeah, maybe it was competitive, which is great, but it's like nobody like Montreal had Demidov come in. Oh, Demidov really showed out. He could be a top six forward. It's a younger guy who they expect to develop. There's nobody like that on the side of the team right now. One thing that I thought was very interesting, though, is that he's going to be watching a lot of games in Bridgeport.
Yes, he said this Sunday, or I think coming up really close to soon Sunday, that the Islanders will not be playing and he will be traveling to watch the game. So,
and I appreciate that. I think that's a smart move. He's in constant communication with Rocky Thompson, determining when, because there's going to be injuries, and he wants to know, who fits best for what they need at that particular time.
And he also stated with, going back to Bridgeport that, he's new here, so he's giving them a clean sheet to start from scratch. Cause he's like, I know that they really struggled last year, but he's like, I just came in. So he's like, everybody has a clean sheet in my eyes. You have to mess up first in front of me before I, take action. So I thought that was nice too. So,
yep. And two other quick things that he mentioned that caught my attention is that I guess he watched a few of the practices and thought maybe they weren't playing up to their capability, and he challenged the players.
Yep.
Maybe.
And he said they have a higher, like they're communicating a lot more, they're cheering when they're scoring goals. It seems like they're becoming more of a unit, and they're, getting behind each other a little bit more.
He wanted them to pick up the pace.
Yep.
That comes from years and years of playing in the cul-de-sac community that you don't.
That's the culture. That's the culture you have.
That's right. That's the culture.
That's the culture that's been developed, is that, we roll over and die. We don't care. We're here to collect a paycheck and have a good time with our buddies out here on the ice. We don't really care about winning. Where you have to be like a Florida Panthers or like an Edmonton Oilers, a team that has drive and wants to win and cares.
See, I don't see Edmonton as a team like that.
McDavid is a player that's like that, though.
Okay, you're talking about the best player in the world. It's a little bit different. I'm saying as a team, Florida is a perfect example. Tampa is another example. But I thought that was interesting, and he felt that the players did pick it up, and that's good. I mean, if he needs to be out there on the ice and challenging these guys, do it. No problem at all. That's a plus in the Darche column.
Yep.
Without a doubt. And the only other thing that I thought that was interesting, and certainly a wild departure from Lou Lamoriello, who didn't want anyone's opinion. It was his way or the highway. He knew better. Everyone else was stupid. he wants people to challenge him in his opinions. Now, it's easy to say that, particularly when you're starting out. I think it's easier. Once you're established for a while, I kind of think that goes away. You're like, hey, I know what I'm doing. But as of right now, he wants to be challenged with his opinions, and hopefully that'll be the case. I hope people have enough stones to actually challenge him on some of his decisions and some questions that they might have in the direction of the team. And
he
then
did also state, though, that at the end of the day, he's the one who will be making the decisions. He did clarify that.
Absolutely. And as GM and director of hockey ops,
That's your
absolutely. That's the gig. But if you're actually listen to opinions and are able to be, where you take a step back, maybe sometimes like with the Henneman thing, maybe someone says, hey, that guy really sucks. He's a fourth liner, just like the grumpy old man said. Hopefully he's able to say, oh, instead of me being like right on top of him, maybe I'm able to take the 30,000-foot view and say, yeah, the grumpy old man is right. This guy's a fourth liner. So I think that's also something that I think is going to be really important if he can do that. And I know right now we're going to kind of jump into our that's not preseason prediction, whatever, our predictions for the season and who's going to wind up where. But I know there's been a few games on the last couple of days, and I'm just going to say I was really impressed with the Chicago Blackhawks. I thought the speed that they played with was really good. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs or compete for a playoff spot, but I thought they looked really fast in game one. And you're not seeing a whole lot of scoring. You're seeing really buttoned up defensive play across the league right now, which I think is really interesting. Even in the Pittsburgh Ranger game yesterday,
I was shocked that Pittsburgh won.
I mean, they played really well, and I thought the Rangers played well too. Buttoned up defensively, and you saw that in tonight's game. Washington and Boston buttoned up defensively. I don't know if the Islanders can do that. I think that could be a problem. One thing I'm going to say with the officiating, one thing that I'm seeing that you haven't seen in recent years, they're letting guys hook and interfere all the time. And maybe that's why there's less scoring also. When you're able to interfere with guys and hook them and restrict them when they're racing through the, into the offensive zone, it's going to slow play up and it's going to help with defensive. I think that's been noticeable, the amount of stick work that they're letting guys get away with on players as of, the first couple of games this year. Let's see what happens as the season turns on. But those are just really early observations from the NHL season this year.
Yep. And I was going to say, before we hop into this, Grumpy, do you want to do the ad read?
Sure. We'll do the ad read. Let me just document our time here. And I think I have it down, so it won't be a problem. And our ad read, once again, is from our friends at DraftKings. Football is back, and so is your shot at big wins with DraftKings Pick 6, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL. Your game day instincts can score you real money fast. Here's the play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats, from breakout rookies to elite quarterbacks, and unlock the upside every snap brings. The better your calls, the better your payout. I have a question. Cincinnati Bengals have obtained Joe Flacco.
That is correct.
Is he the greatest quarterback of all time? No. Is he better than who's the clown who they got?
Browning.
Browning? Yeah, he is.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean your boy Jamar Chase?
Interesting. I was going to say interesting fact. I think there's only one team that Flacco has not played for in that division.
So let's see. Baltimore, yes. Cleveland, yes. Pittsburgh hasn't played.
It's the only team he has not played for in that division. That's nuts. That's pretty crazy. Do you think, now let me ask this, do you think that Flacco gets the start next week? Or I guess this Sunday?
Yeah, he's starting this Sunday.
I think so too. I had a conversation with somebody
else.
They
already said he is.
See, and that's I absolutely, I was like, you don't pick him up to not play him immediately. Or trade for him to not play him immediately. So.
They're in a position to win division no matter how bad Cincinnati's been so far. They're in position to win that division.
Yep. I agree.
Let me just get back to the ad read. And here's the kickoff bonus. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry on your first set. This season, play your player instincts. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN. Play just $5. Get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call. Ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos. So, hey, get on that DraftKings app and do the Pick 6.
That's right.
All right, X.
All right, Grumpy. I figured I pulled up the divisions here so we can go through and determine who we think's going to win if you want.
Okay, so we're going to talk. I guess we could talk how they finish and say which teams are going to make the playoffs. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's the top 2 teams that make the playoffs, right? In each division.
No. It's the top 3
automatically
make it, and then in each conference, the 2 highest
after that
wild card teams.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't matter if the Metro Division has 3 teams that have 10 points, and then the other teams have 2. The top 3 with 10 are going to get in, even if the Atlantic has 7 teams that have 90 points.
Yeah.
They only get 3 and then the 2 wild cards. So,
gotcha.
Let's look at the Atlantic. We have Florida Panthers, Boston Bruins, Buffalo Sabres. Can you make that a little bit bigger so we can actually look at it? Maybe make that screen a little bigger, slide it over. Okay. Okay. So if you're asking me so we cannot see all the teams.
You're not going to be able to see them all at once if you want it bigger.
Okay. I think I'm just going to go with the teams I think are going to make the playoffs. I think Toronto, Tampa, and Florida are givens to make the playoffs. Florida is not. I don't think they'll win division. I think Tampa could I think it's going to be Tampa or Toronto who wins the division. I'm going to lean towards Tampa. And I think Florida and Toronto are going to be really close. I think those are the 3 best teams in the Eastern Conference, to be honest with you. So then we're looking at spot 4. I think do you have any what you think is going to happen or no?
I have Florida winning the Atlantic Division.
Okay.
And then probably the 2 teams that I would have after that would probably be the Tampa Bay Lightning and then the Maple Leafs as well. I'd have the Maple Leafs finishing 3rd and Tampa finishing 2nd.
Okay.
In that division.
Do you have any? And
then my 4. You want me to pick my 4th team from here?
4 through 8. Yeah, 4 through 8.
Okay, 4 through 8. I'm gonna have. I'm gonna pick the Bruins to finish 4th.
Wow. Okay.
Pick the Bruins to finish 4th, and then I'm gonna have the Canadiens. Actually, sorry, I'm gonna switch that. I want the Canadiens finishing 4th, and then I'm gonna have the Bruins finishing 5th. I'll have Detroit as 6th, and then I'll have the Senators and then the Sabres.
Wow. Okay. I'm going for 4th place. I'm going Senators 4th. Okay. I'm going to go with Canadiens 5th. I'll go with. I think it's for the last 3 spots. I think it's going to be really tough. I don't think any of them are a threat to make the playoffs. I'll go Detroit, Boston, and the Sabres last is what I'll go. The Sabres they're just a losing franchise. They just are.
Yeah.
So Okay, so who is making the playoffs out of that? Or because you picked
My top 4 teams that I'd have, it would be the Panthers, the Maple Leafs, the Lightning, and then the Canadians. Remember,
okay.
Grumpy, the Canadians acquired Noah Dobson.
Maybe I should move them up. Yeah,
That's
they
why
did.
that's why I put them in there.
I still think Ottawa's better. Okay, let's go to the Metro Division. And here we got Pittsburgh, the Rangers, the Hurricanes, Devils, Flyers, Penguins, Caps, Islanders, and Blue Jackets. I think Carolina wins that division. I think second place is going to be, I'm going to pick the Devils to come in second,
Okay.
Washington to come in third, Columbus to come in fourth, the Rangers to come in fifth, Pittsburgh sixth, the Islanders seventh, and the Flyers last. I pick the Flyers to be last every year.
Yeah, I got the Hurricanes winning that division. Then I'd probably have I would do Columbus to come in second.
Wow.
And I would
Okay.
do Washington. Well, Columbus I think they were pretty good last year before Johnny Gaudreau passed away.
Well, they didn't play with them all year. They were better last year. They absolutely were, and they were in the playoff hunt till the end.
Yeah, that's why I've got them second. But I have the Caps third. Fourth, I'm gonna pick the Devils. Then I'm gonna have the Rangers after that. I'm gonna have the
You have Pittsburgh, the Islanders, and Philadelphia left.
I'm gonna have I'm gonna have the Islanders next. Then I'm gonna have Philadelphia and then Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's pretty bad this year. Even though they won their first game.
All you have to do is not make the playoffs to be in the lottery, you know.
Oh, well, then maybe they'll do a little bit better.
Okay.
They're getting that number 1 pick. That's all I put them dead last because I know they're going to get that number 1 pick.
Okay. Like I said, I don't think there's any way the Islanders make the playoffs this year. I just don't think they're good enough.
I agree.
So who are you going to be your 8 playoff teams out of the Eastern Conference?
My 8 playoff teams out of the Eastern Conference.
Now you already picked. So your top 3 in each division make the playoffs.
So I got Florida, Tampa and
Toronto.
Leafs. I got the Hurricanes, Columbus Blue Jackets,
and Washington.
And then Washington. So that I need 2 other ones. I'm going to say the New Jersey Devils and then the Canadians.
Okay. I'm going to say my teams to make the playoffs are going to be the Senators, Toronto, Florida, and Tampa Bay. And I think we're going to see 4 teams from the Metro this year, and it's going to be Jersey, Carolina, Washington, and Columbus. I think those would be my teams.
I think we were pretty similar.
They were close. I don't think Columbus coming in second, though.
Just wait.
Okay.
I got the call.
All right.
From Bettman, he told me the script.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to look at the West, the Central Division.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see Colorado.
Yep.
And Dallas.
Yep.
Winnipeg, number 3. Scroll down, please. Scroll down. That's up. Okay. Oh, okay. So Colorado, Dallas, Winnipeg. Who else we got? Minnesota. Who else?
Minnesota, the Predators, Blues, and then Mammoth.
Okay.
It's Utah.
I'm going to go Minnesota to be 4th. Can you move up, please? The Blues to be 5th.
You sold the Blackhawks.
Okay. I'll go with the Wild. Oh, I said Minnesota. Dude, I can't see the team. I can't see the teams.
Oh, God. Okay.
I mean, okay. I'm going to pick the Blackhawks to be 7th. And
can you at least see them there?
Yeah, they're better now. Yeah. I'm going to pick the Predators to come in 8th. 6th is going to be the Mammoth.
Okay. I have my number one team coming out of what division is this? The Central Division. I'm gonna have it being Colorado. Then I'm gonna have Dallas, Winnipeg. My number 4 team is gonna be the Nashville Predators.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, you never know. Then I'm gonna have the Minnesota Wild being after them. Then I'm gonna have the Blues. Then I'm gonna have the Blackhawks, and then the Utah Mammoths.
Wow. Okay. Utah coming in last. I don't think that's happening.
I probably won't because I thought the same exact. Usually, okay, my thought process. Usually, expansion teams suck their first year. The hockey's weird because Vegas made it all the way to the Stanley Cup.
They're not an expansion team, by the way.
Oh, they were I thought they were an expansion team.
No, they were
they took over Arizona, right?
Right.
That's right.
And they've developed some young talent. I don't know if they're good enough to make the playoffs, but I think they'll be close.
Okay.
And I think they'll be better this year than last year. Okay. And then we'll go to the Pacific Division. I think you're going to see a little bit higher, please. Oh, look the other way. There we go. Okay. I think you're going to see Vegas number 1, Edmonton number 2, Kings number 3. I'm going to say Vancouver number 4, Calgary number 5, or maybe the Ducks number 5, and they could be a surprise team. Flames number 6, Seattle number 7, the Kraken, and
the Sharks last.
And the Sharks last. That's what I'm.
That's mine is very similar to that. I had Edmonton finishing first, Vegas number 2. Then I would have the Kings number 3, Vancouver 4, 5. I would have the Ducks. 6 would be the Flames, 7 would be the Kraken, and then 8 would be the Sharks.
Well, yours is so close to mine; it's exactly the same.
No, you had
okay.
I had Vegas finishing first.
Okay.
Yeah,
other than that,
I had the Oilers finishing first.
Okay, so who's going to make the playoffs out of the West? If you're going to say who's going to,
we'll just start down here first. I got the Oilers, I got the Golden Knights, and then I got the Kings. And then I'm going to say that the Canucks are going to get in. Then I'm going to have Colorado, the Stars, Winnipeg, and then I got the Predators finishing 4th.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll go with the Blues, and then out of the West, I will go with Vancouver.
Okay, fair enough.
So let's see how those play out. I didn't write them down, but hey, we can always.
Grumpy, all I have to say is if the Predators make it,
I'll be stunned.
You could just call me the elite. Just call me elite.
Well, we don't have to worry about that since you couldn't even come up with a cool nickname for yourself.
The elite selector.
Yeah.
Elite selector.
Okay.
All right, Grumpy, do you want to get in some comments here?
Yeah, I'd like to do that, X. Thomas Antonetti says, good evening, gents. Wanted your thoughts on Emile the Eel playing on the top line. Do you, at this point, feel he's earned that spot, or was it just more justification for the Dobson trade? That's exactly what I feel. It's justification for the Dobson trade. That's what it is. And here's the thing. It was not a trade about, as much as a Dobson guy that I was, he didn't want to sign a contract extension. You had to move him. No problem at all moving on from him. Their return wasn't what it could have been. They should have got a better player than Emile Henneman as the centerpiece player in that deal. And he's not a first-line guy. He's a fourth-line player. And eventually, after, all is said and done, that's where he's going to be. He won't be on the first line all year. Will not happen. Matthew Sklarov says, good job, X. You got it right. He did. He did the intro extremely well today, Mr. X. Right. Dan Miller says the difference our ownership and the Yankees ownership is at least our owners cared enough to make changes in order to win. I don't even want to talk about the Yankees because they're going to lose today.
Yes.
They'll be done tonight. but it's the same thing. It's just like when Lamoriello was in charge. They just think their way with Cashman just having guys who slug home runs all year.
It's the way
That's
to go.
what's going to win. You can win a lot of regular season games that way.
You're never
Again,
going to win
including
playoff
pitching.
series by doing that, though.
No, you have no. And I
You
like
get very, very lucky to do that.
I didn't think they just, I mean, they beat Boston. Boston beat themselves
Yes.
in that 3-game series. Even yesterday, Toronto screwed up. Guy drops a pop fly, leads to the game-tying home run by Judge, right? But if you're going to play home run ball, you're not going to win a World Series. You're just not. You're going to have to play some small ball. Dale S. says, where's TJ? TJ is actually, I know where he is. He no longer does the show anymore because of job commitments. Could not do it.
They need somebody better to step in.
They needed somebody better with Son X come in and do it better.
That's right.
Xpun 3414 says another number going to the rafters. This time it's Boston retiring Chara's number. I don't know how many numbers Boston has retired, but you can't say that Chara
did not deserve it.
Did not deserve.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
he has a check named after himself, the Chara check.
He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, though, right?
Oh yeah. Multiple All-Star game appearances, fastest slap shot. Can't tell you how many years in a row.
You know what? That means nothing, by the way.
Everything, actually.
But you just wonder when you say, okay, that's why if you're the Islanders, you're retiring everybody's number. Well, historically, have we been a really good team except for, the dynasty years? No. Just stop retiring numbers. It's not needed. Freedom Fundamental says, hey, Grumpy. Hey, X. I'd like to say TJ used to cry about how hard it was pushing the buttons, but Son X makes it look nasty. I don't know. Is that good nasty or bad nasty?
Yep. It's good nasty.
Hope Dog Z feels better.
Oh, he's feeling fine. He just really had to go to the bathroom. That was all. So I was like, I thought maybe I could stretch it out for the show, but I was like, nah, I better take him before the show starts. So he's feeling fine. He's sleeping right now underneath me.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad he's feeling better.
Yep.
Meatball Parm says, Grump is lucky I skipped fantasy hockey this year. Ooh. I don't know why you skipped it. We could have had another player in there for certain. Freedom Fund Adventure says, for those who say fighting and toughness are not important in the NHL anymore, teams have been arming up for 4 years, not the Islanders due to Lou. Watch the Lightning Panthers from a few days ago, over 300 penalty minutes. That's the biggest rivalry in the sport right now. Without a doubt, that's the biggest rivalry in the sport. I think they played 2 games, 2 exhibition games. Tampa won the first one 5-2, and there was like 212 minutes of penalties. And then Saturday, the final exhibition game, Florida beat them 7-0, and there were over 300 penalty minutes and some suspensions and fines for the coach and the team.
Oh,
I mean, it's a rivalry.
Honestly, though, I'm tuning in.
I mean, it's the best rivalry in the NHL right now.
Yeah,
and probably the 2 top teams in the league, close to it.
Oh, and then Meatball Parm says
the Glizzy Guzzlers will be back next year. The Glizzy Guzzlers. Freedom Fund Adventure says the Islanders and Bridgeport both had next to nada. Last year, both teams had a goalie run and teams targeted and injured. I'll be interested to see how the rest of the league is played. To me, the clutching and the grabbing is back. And when you're doing stuff like that, I think it leads to more potential physical
lower scoring.
Guys low scoring for certain. I don't think guys like being hooked. Let's see how it plays out. Is the NHL going to stop kind of stop that hooking and interfering? Because they haven't so far. But maybe they will as the season goes on.
Maybe they're worried some players are starting to creep up to Gretzky's numbers.
Maybe so. Matthew S. says, Darche is a man of the people. I'm not going there yet. But I like some of the
people. He spoke to the people. Got to give him credit.
He did. Like I said, I like some of the things he said. I don't know if they're true in practice, but I certainly hope they are. Dan Miller says, Lou and his defense mechanism. Absolutely. Talking about not talking to the people. Freedom Fund Adventure says Lou wouldn't talk because he couldn't justify his actions and lack thereof. So happy he is gone. Glad Malikov back working with the Islanders. Notice on the Islanders D How many new scouts and no Fredo? Well, that's what they need.
Yep.
They needed that. They need more. I don't know about pro personnel right now, but certainly I'd have more scouts on the road beating the bushes for high-end talent. That's absolutely what they need. Dale S. said Lou would do a press conference on the West Coast road trip. Yep, because no one listened to him. It was just a couple of beat writers, maybe one beat writer out there. It was easy, very easy. John Darrell McManaman. Oh, he's got a D. Look at that. Johnny D. Mac says, hope to God that the Islanders don't keep the rookie up for the season.
It's going to happen.
That is
Be
going
ready.
to happen. It's pretty obvious that's going to happen. Vinny Smith says, why, in the last year of his contract, is he gone after this year? I'm going to say no. Remember,
I would not like to see him be gone after this year. Personally, myself, I would not like that. The team's hard. I mean, yeah, and that's one thing in sports that I just hate. It's like you could have the greatest coach on the face of the earth, but if your players are just not talented and not good, you're not going to win
You're not
games.
winning. You're not
It's not like the
winning.
coach goes out there and suits up and plays. I mean, he can put up, he can draw up the best plays, draw up, the best lines, but at the end of the day, if the guys can't do it that are out there, you're not going to win any games.
Very true.
So I would hate to see him get let go at the end of this year, especially if it's not his fault.
There's only so much Darche can do
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Honestly, the free agent market, no one was signing here.
No.
So like I said, I remember that Wah was an ownership hire, not a Lamoriello hire. So they like him. And Darche, he's a rubber stamp. I mean, he's not going to kick him out. If they say they want to keep him, they'll keep him.
Yep.
Darche has a longer rope than Wah does, though.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Ponyboy says, boys, who has the best fantasy team? Mine's not too bad if I say so myself. I'm going to say mine's the best. X, are you going to say yours is the best?
My fantasy teams have sucked this year in every sport.
That's
So
true.
just going based off of how my fantasy football teams have been doing, I'm going to say my fantasy hockey team is not going to do well.
I looked at your roster, and I think my team is better than yours.
Yeah, I was on auto pick, so I could not attend the draft. So.
Okay. Ponyboy also adds, although Grumpy had me fuming multiple times because I was this close to picking a few studs that Grumpy selfishly stole right out from underneath me. But you know what?
He's good at doing that. He's really good at doing that, taking players that other people want.
That suck-ass TJ did it to me twice, too. He's always the one I worry about, is TJ. Always the one I worry about.
You know what we need to do? Next draft, I'm going to crack Grumpy's computer so he can't attend.
Oh, wow.
And I should be able to get all the players I want.
Oh, okay. Dan Lashan says, it seems like Schaefer has enough character to not let losing make him complacent.
He absolutely seems very mature. I really hope that that's the case because he will be tested this season. So.
I just think it's important not to ruin him.
Yeah, agreed. He's the franchise.
Yeah. Program This says those lines are horrible. Yes, they are.
Not good.
They're not good. Dan Lashan says, and Dan, I don't know about this, X. Dan has a wonderful family. Wonderful family.
I see him right there in the picture.
Okay. I do not like these lines at all either. Yeah, we're just not very good. Get ready for some hard times.
Not conducive to winning games.
They're not. Matthew Sklar says it doesn't matter what the lines are. It's tanking season.
Agreed. Agreed.
And I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. Dan once again adds, I think Gatcombe has earned the fourth line right wing from his performance last season. He's a fourth liner. I mean, he is what he is. Matthew Pastore says, playoffs.
We're not making that.
Ponyboy says, Grumpalicious, what's your favorite breakfast food, X?
He's asking you and then me what our favorite breakfast food is.
I just, like I said, I'll have maybe a little bit of bacon.
Depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Protein shakes, some Cheerios. That's about it.
I sometimes like cereal. Pancakes are always good. Bacon's good. Waffles are really good. Sometimes like a chicken biscuit's good in the morning. A McGriddle is good. So depends on what I'm in the mood for.
And Ponyboy also says, do you ever regret moving down south and having to live somewhere without real pizza, Chinese food, etc. Bakeries. No, I absolutely do not regret moving down here. Now the food is absolutely better.
Worse.
I think the
Here,
food,
it's worse. It's worse here. It's
Yeah.
well, at least the foods that you listed there. There are certain
ethnic-
foods that are down south that are a lot better than foods that are up north, though.
yeah, the ethnic foods are better up north,
Agreed.
but
Agreed.
the rest of the food is better down here. All of it.
Barbecue is a lot better down here. The fried chicken is a hell of a lot better down here than it is up there. There's a lot.
Steaks,
Yeah, steaks are really good here.
Oh, but the ethnic foods, Italian food for certain, Chinese
Oh,
food,
yeah.
absolutely way better up north. But
I
you
agree
know,
with that.
regular food down here, way better.
Yep.
But that's not why we moved. It wasn't for the food. So, Freedom Fund Adventure says, know what I want to hear? That generous Son X gave Grumpy not only last year's Father's Day DVD, but last year's Christmas presents and booked something for Grumpy's birthday where they can create a memory. Now, my birthday, now
I forgot. I even made a mental note to myself. I was like, as soon as I get home, I was like, I need to go ahead and get this for him because I keep forgetting to do it. And guess what?
Didn't do it.
I forgot to do it again.
Now, X, you know my birthday is 3 weeks from tonight.
I know you're gonna have to tell me something else you want because I will get you that DVD.
Hold
that
on.
DVD
Hold
will
on.
will be in your possession before your birthday. I need to know what else you want for your birthday.
Okay, so you say you're aware 3 weeks from tonight, and you want me to give you something else for you not to get me. Is that correct?
I'm getting the thing for you after the show tonight. You will have it in your possession.
Okay. All right.
I'll have to load up my information on there, but you will have it in your possession, Grumpy.
We will see. We will see.
Okay.
Next comment, please. Freedom Fund Adventure adds, Grumpy, take it easy on Declare. His groin was totally ripped off. Stop. Islanders did change medical staff in the summer. Also, your oldest son is a quitter. Now, X, would you say that TJ's a quitter?
No.
He's not a quitter.
No.
He's the exact opposite.
Yeah, he's somebody you tell him to leave, and he would be so stubborn that he would just stay there.
Yeah, I hope Declare works out. 9 teams now in 12 years. There's a reason why he jumped from team to team. I don't think it's because he tore his groin off the bone.
I think it's because he tears up his relationships with teams.
Excuse me. Yes, Ponyboy says, how do you all feel about McDavid signing? Do they raise the cup in Alberta at any point over the next 3 years?
No.
He signed. I cannot believe he signed that deal. He just signed an extension, $12.5 million per, which is exactly what he's getting now for the next 2 years. I can't even comprehend it, honestly, that he took that deal. I mean, maybe he wants to win a cup in Edmonton. They still don't have a goalie, and their defense sucks. I mean, they're going to struggle if they play a team like Florida. They're going to struggle if they play a team like Tampa. Their goaltending sucks, and their D blows. But they got him and Draisaitl. Let's see what happens.
The specifics of the contract there, Grumpy.
Yeah. 2 years, $25 million. It's a steal. It's a steal. And they also extended Jake Wallman for 7 years at $7 million per. Okay, he was with them last year. I can't believe I was stunned when he took that deal. Stunned. You figure at least would have wanted to get more than Draisaitl's making.
Yeah. He's the best player in the freaking sport.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't. Oh, okay. You know what? You know who used to do stuff like that?
Oh, well. Here's the difference.
Champion.
Here's the difference between that person and McDavid. That person was actually winning. Yeah,
he was a winner. Yeah, People's Champion was a winner.
That's right.
Freedom Fund Adventure says, how about those goals by Yzerman? How about Aitchison scoring 5 goals already? Ed Jovanovski said he's the closest thing to him, and Klatt said that too. Okay.
Playing in juniors. He's so much bigger than everybody else.
So much bigger than the other juniors. That's
Here's the thing. Good, though, because this is what he should be doing.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to poo-poo him for putting up 5 goals. You're doing what you should be doing in juniors. Keep it up.
I thought he looked big in juniors last year. Remember, he's older.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I thought he looked big in the clips that we saw last year. I thought he looked small playing in the NHL exhibition games.
Yeah. Which shows you the difference in size between kids and juniors and
guys.
the bigs.
It's easy to bully, the younger players. It just is. I'm not poo-pooing him.
No,
I want him to succeed. I just hope Yzerman continues to score at that pace. I think it's really, really important for his development. JP says, "Hey, gentlemen, hope all is well. Going to be a bumpy New York Islanders ride with a possible cliff dive."
Yeah, agreed.
I agree.
I think the cliff dive is actually inevitable.
I think Aaron Judge he can make the last out of the Yankee season right here.
There we go.
Maga says, "We have the worst defensive core in the league, maybe. I don't think it's the worst. Nobody would be a top 4 defenseman on a good team." Okay, on a good team. No, I think some of them, I think maybe not. Some of them could be a top 4 guy. But we're not good. We're not good defensively, and we're not good offensively. It's going to be a long year. We played that game against Philadelphia, the last exhibition game. I'm watching this game, and I'm like, man, both of these teams just absolutely suck. That's all I have to say. They both suck. Judge knocks in a run, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Man on first, 2 outs. Maga says, "This team is similar to the 07 to 09 team of Ham and Eggers that eventually bottomed out for the top pick Tavares."
We can only hope for next year.
That's what I'm hoping. That wouldn't it be great if we get McKenna? Then I'm like, okay.
I'm already telling you, bud.
I know.
Okay, don't get your hopes up.
Okay. Let's say we get ourselves 3 first-round picks.
Then great. Yeah.
And 3 seconds.
Yeah. Load up for the future because that's what you're looking to do.
Yeah.
The team is not going to do anything for the next 2, 3, maybe even 4 years.
I agree.
It's going to be a long, long road ahead, but a road that at least we have hope on the horizon if we actually use our picks.
Yes, absolutely. And that's, I
think that's a frustrating thing and now, obviously I'm a newbie, so I think it's a frustrating thing for a lot of Islanders fans is they didn't have that hope to look forward to year after year after year because you guys would trade away your picks all the time. It's not like you had a top tier talent or a top player to look forward to develop in the future. You just had, okay, well, we suck. We just trade away all of our picks. So this is what we have to look forward to is more sucking.
Yes.
So
that's it in a nutshell.
Yep.
That's it. I mean,
at least we have hope.
I mean, the whole thing, it takes a while for the young players to become NHLers. And that's why Lamoriello trading away first-round pick after first-round pick after first-round pick for a team that wasn't ever going to contend for a Stanley Cup championship was just dumb.
We need to go ahead and do something where we look through, I guess, while he was trading away those picks, look at what those picks became and see if anybody became anything. Any of those picks.
We've done that. We could have had Frank Nazar, but we traded him for that freaking useless Romanov.
I was going to say we could see if any of those picks became anything really, really good.
Frank Nazar did. Played for Chicago. But, I mean, that's why they should have – I mean, I've said it 100 times before on the show. After the first loss to Tampa, we should have loaded up. And then after the second – and we didn't. And then the second one where we lost – a game 7, we didn't again. Just ride the same group back, and that was that. That was your time. And then the team dropped off.
The golden era was gone after that,
And he tried to, backfill to try to be competitive. I mean, we were good in the 2 COVID years. That's when we were good. When they had to play a full year, not so good. Tough to play that style, that Barry Trotz grinded out style over the course of the season. Very, very tough.
Yep.
Thomas Bach says, "Gents, as I've said before, there's a paucity of talent across the board. Respectfully, finding fault with the lines at this stage is reminiscent of rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. This is not a playoff-bound roster. Hopefully the candidates for trading will not get hurt." True. Freedom Front of Edge says, Hickey called 5 or 6 games for Montreal and said each time he was the best player on the ice for Montreal and often the entire game. He was a rookie last year, drafted in the second round by Florida, and sought in 3 large deals. No, he's talking about Henneman. No, you're wrong. No. No. Ponyboy says, does anyone else feel like the Islanders media cartel are trying to exploit our first overall a little too much? Every time they're inside the locker room, they're hounding the kid. It's got to feel overwhelming. What else have they had to report on? Honestly, what do you think they're going to report on this year?
That's the only thing you have to report on is the future franchise of your team. I mean, I think even if the team was really good and they got a player like that, that's who they're going to report on. It's the biggest news the team's had in years.
I'm not going to go that far, but when your team's going to be bad,
okay, it's the biggest news the team's had since what Barzal was in a number 1 overall pick, Tavares. I mean, that it's the biggest news you've had since Tavares.
Well, no, we had some years. The Islanders had some years where they were good.
I guess, draft pick wise, it's the biggest news you've had since Tavares. That's going to be what they're going to hit home upon. It's not like you had, a great season last year where you made the playoffs and made a deep run to the playoffs. Your team, didn't perform well, were crappy. You got rid of your GM. That's how bad they were. They're going to report on the only thing that's positive that they can report on, which is the number 1 overall pick.
True. Very true.
I mean, it's like the Tennessee Titans, right? They're probably reporting on Cam Ward every week because they have nothing else to report on. Well, actually, their win against the Cardinals last week, but
yeah.
Other than that, it was Cam Ward every week.
Ponyboy adds, like obviously a prospect of his caliber is going to have to talk to reporters, but before and after every practice and game is a little much. He's a freaking baby, and he means that in a good way.
Yeah, I agree. Where I think
one good thing is there's only like 3 beat reporters, maybe 4. That's it. It's not like I laugh when Darche said, he's playing in New York. The Islanders view themselves as like a small market club. They always have. I mean, that's how they view themselves. So it's New York, but it's not Rangers New York.
I'll say one thing though about Schaefer. I think he has the maturity to handle the media.
So do I.
So I'm not worried about him, but I agree where you're coming from, where you wish like they lay off him a little bit. But I mean, at the end of the day, those people have a job to do and they're going to do their job. And if that means, hey, we got to report about, the positive things about the Islanders, which is their number 1 overall pick. Well, that's who we're going to go to every week to talk to.
Let's see what it's like in season.
Yeah, they could absolutely change. It could absolutely change.
Ponyboy adds, let the kid get a little more acclimated before you forge him into one of these captains or coaches that sound like politicians. Let him be a kid. Yeah, but here's the thing. When you want to force him onto the team, and when I say force him, he's talented enough, but he absolutely could have used some development. Absolutely. When you force him up on the big team like that, that's just going to happen. It's just what it's going to be.
I'll say with his background and kind of the adversity that he's had to face, though, throughout his life, I think he's pretty grown up. He had to face a lot of, things that a lot of kids don't at a young age. So,
Freedom says, am I the only one who would sell Sunex to a Tijuana whorehouse? For Veronica and Oliver from Columbus, it's okay. The Islanders line up better than last year, but still not good enough transition year.
Please don't do that. I'd have to learn another intro that I would mess up.
This lineup is not better than last year. It absolutely is not.
I don't think it is.
You lost Nelson and Dobson
and you didn't replace them
with no replacement even close to that caliber of player. They're not as good as last year. Absolutely not. I don't care because I want higher draft picks. But you're deluding yourself if you think that this roster is just as good as last year's. It's worse. Ponyboy says, Grumpy, if you had to pick anyone of the 3 amigos to be on your roster, who would it be and why is it Holmstrom? The 3 amigos were Holmstrom was not one of the 3 amigos. The 3 amigos were Kaliev, who busted out, McMichael, who's turned out to be a good player, and Tomasino, who's shows he can play in Pittsburgh. But Holmstrom, here's the problem I had with Holmstrom. You could have had him in the second round. He was consensus to go in the second round, middle to tail end of the second round. You don't burn a first-round pick on somebody like him. McMichael, they said that knock on him was he wasn't a great skater. He had everything else. Well, his skating is pretty good, okay? And he still brings all those other elements. I would love to see McMichael in the first round and then Holmstrom in the second round.
Yep. What you're saying is they reached on Holmstrom.
Exactly. I don't believe in reaching.
Yep.
Do not reach. It's dumb. It's just dumb. Nader Fari says, Farahi? I'm sorry, Nader.
Farahi.
Okay. So next, can you name Islanders Hockey Hall of Famers? I'll tell you what, X. Just name 3. You should be able to get this.
Tinelli, Nystrom, Mike Bossy.
Hold on. Guys in the NHL Hall of Fame.
Oh, Billy Smith.
Okay, that's good. That's
Mike
good.
Bossy.
Mike Bossy, very good.
And Bobby Nystrom.
Dude, no, it's not Bobby Nystrom. It's never Bobby Nystrom.
Oh, Tinelli.
No.
I
Defenseman.
can't
Greatest
remember.
two-way center of all time.
I cannot remember.
Denny Potvin.
Dennis Potvin, that's it.
And Brian Trottier.
Yep, as soon as you said it, I got it.
You figured you would. I mean, this is like 4 weeks in a row with the same question.
I know. I keep failing it.
I know.
I have to remember the intro, Grumpy. I can only remember so much.
Freedom Fund Events goes, Sun X, which current Islander did the Boston Bruins pass up in the draft with 3 consecutive picks for a bunch of not much? Think about it. Current New York Islander. One of our better players. Easily one of our better players.
What position?
Forward.
Is Matt Barzal?
It is Matt Barzal.
Oh!
You got lucky. I was even going to help you say that was acquired in a trade. Yeah, don't be so proud of yourself. Pony Boy says, X, did you get Z's balls chopped off?
He got them chopped off a while ago.
Long time ago.
Yep.
In a place
He
far
just
away.
had a little pancake flap for a little while.
All right, I don't want to talk about that. Google says, Sun X, are you excited about the Islanders season? That your toes are tingling? Do you have so much money that your pockets are constantly jiggling?
You know what I think it's going to be? It's going to be like a car crash. It's going to be so bad that you just can't look away.
Okay.
That's what I think.
All right. Pony Boy says, do you guys remember when everyone and their mother reported Kadri signed an 8x8 deal with Dementia Lou? Laughed my ass off. Good times. Yeah. Gungun says, Sun X, time for an Islanders history lesson. Oh, boy. We thought we avoided these. Besides Young Schaefer, who are 2 other Islanders that were selected number 1 in the draft since 1972?
I know Jonathan Tavares is one of them.
Okay.
And then I'm going to say Mike Bossy is the other one.
No. Defenseman.
Dennis Potvin.
Yes. Also, Billy Harris was the first overall pick of the franchise.
Okay.
Mario Vargas says, judging from yesterday's game, it looks like the Pens may no longer have a Jari problem. Well, Jari didn't play yesterday. Seelov's played. So we're going to see.
That's what they're saying is that they can replace him.
He was eminently replaceable. Gungu says, let's predict tomorrow night. Will the Islanders hit the ground running after Dog Z gets groomed? Does he look stunning?
He, of course, looks stunning, and I think we are going to beat Pittsburgh tomorrow night.
Okay. I think we're going to lose to Pittsburgh tomorrow night.
You think they're hot right now?
I think Pittsburgh looked really good in training camp. New coach. See, they look pretty good yesterday. They look sound defensively. Still, I mean, Malkin looks like he's gotten younger. It's early in the season, of course. But I haven't
Maybe this is the optimist in me. I think that we're going to beat them.
Okay. All right. Well, I picked the Islanders to lose. You pick them to win.
And yes, Dog Z looks stunning. So if the Islanders do win, Grumpy, you just call me king.
Gungun says, when will Phil's Facts make his show return? Have all other guests been given the old heave? Oh. I don't know when Phil's going to be back on the show, and I know we will have guests on at some point in time.
Probably when the season gets really bad. Start bringing guests.
Oh, wow. Okay, X.
I'm just playing. It's up to you, Grumpy. I'll let you be in charge of the guests. So
that's fine. Mr. B says, one more sleep. Good to hear you fellas back. Crosby to Montreal, the trade deadline if Montreal's in the hunt.
that'd be interesting.
How about the Florida Panthers going
Oh,
after Sidney Crosby? How does that work? Barkov out for the year.
and they pick up Crosby for a year.
How about that?
That would be interesting. That would be pretty crazy. I think that would be a good move for them. I wonder what they'd have to give up though.
He's 38 years old.
But I mean, I know he's probably going to be a free agent pretty soon.
He doesn't want to leave Pittsburgh.
I know he does not want to leave Pittsburgh.
And that could be, the monkey.
I know from a fellow friend who's a Pittsburgh fan, he wants him to leave and make kind of the most out of his career that he still has left.
Oh,
so
I mean, if he wants to win a Stanley Cup,
well, that's exactly like he wants him to make the most and be as good of a player as he can before he hangs it up.
But if you want,
he's given enough to the team.
If he wants to win another Stanley Cup, it's not going to be in Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
And it's funny how they mentioned yesterday on last night's telecast that for the first time, Malkin, Crosby, and Letang have played together for 20 consecutive years. Think about that.
That's crazy. Oh, and then we had here Crosby has a no move clause, so I guess he's not moving.
But if he wants to move, they'll move him if he wants.
Yeah,
to. He wants to stay. You never know. You never know. Depends on how the season goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Goonwood says, Grumpy, were you more stoked that Johnny Ola set up Michael Corleone? Oh, shocked that Johnny Ola set up Michael Corleone, or his knack for finding live sex shows in Cuba. Son X, can you play the tuba?
I cannot play the tuba.
Johnny Ola did not set up Michael Corleone. He set up Fredo, is who he set up. He got that weak Fredo to. He let Fredo Lamorello
go against the family.
Yeah, that's what happened. He played Fredo. He didn't play Michael. He played Fredo. Freedom Fund Adventures says positive Darche wants to be challenged. TJ and Grumpy definitely don't appreciate it. No, that's not true. We absolutely appreciate that.
Yep.
Should want to be challenged. Think outside the box. Somebody else has a different idea. I think it's great. Let's see if it's true. Brett Wayner says, I don't think LaFontaine is getting his number retired, just going into the Islanders Hall of Fame. Okay.
I do want to ask Brett a question. How does it feel having the number one team in the state of Florida?
Oh, wow.
Or being a fan of the number one team in the state of Florida based on his profile picture?
Miami Hurricanes.
Yep. They're the number one team in Florida.
Matthew Sklarov says, thoughts on Eichel, Kaprizov, and McDavid contracts. I think Eichel, I'm surprised Eichel got less than Kaprizov. And the McDavid one is just a head scratcher for me. I don't get it. I don't get it. Matthew also adds Kyle Connor as well. Yeah, I think he'll sign. I think he's from the United States. I don't know if he wants to stay in Winnipeg. I'd love to see him on the Islanders. Now, that's the type of player we need. But, again, we're kind of ways away from being good.
Do you want to trade away picks for somebody like that?
Well, if he's a UFA
free agent, yeah, then pick him up.
But how many years are you wasting of him?
Yeah,
on this team, because we're not close to being a winner.
2, if not 3.
Matthew also adds, Fredo will be selling dirty water dogs on the bank of the Long Island Sound in a jester outfit. It's funny. I hadn't had Sabret hot dogs off of a hot dog truck in a long time. And we went to this wedding, and it was like in upstate New York. And we ate at I think we had McDonald's, of all things. And then we were driving, and I saw a hot dog truck. I'm like, holy crap, I could have went for some hot dogs. Been forever since I had that. Forever. X. Next comment, please, X.
Sorry, I was searching something real quick.
Dan says, it was nice to see Connor stay in Winnipeg. I like seeing small market teams retain their talent. Okay, so I guess he did sign an extension in Winnipeg. Okay.
Yeah, it's 8. Here we go.
Okay. 8 by what? 8 by 12.
Years, $12 million a contract.
Okay. Good for him. He's a good player, and he works there. Yep. I mean, no problem. He wants to stay. McDavid's only making $500,000 a year more than him.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Mario Vargas says the Islanders act like they're from East New York. They act like they're from like Buffalo. I mean, just X is on a roll today, says Matthew.
That's right.
Scott Harris says, "Happy new season, gentlemen. Hoping to watch more consistently and join in. Please, Scott, do that.
Please do.
We do appreciate it." There you go. Brett says, "And the number 2 ranked team in the country feels great."
Behind Ohio State. Yep. Now, Grumpy, I think that was the last comment we had for the night. So anything you want to say before we hop off the show?
I just want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from the Grumpy Old Man and Son X. And let's get ready for the season.
Yes, tomorrow.
What do we want to see from this season, X?
Losses. Lots of losses.
Lots of losses. But I'd like to see the young guys step up and play well and the older guys fall off a cliff and then start moving them out.
Yep.
I want to see Anders Lee and JG Pajot play well enough to net us a good return at the trade deadline. That's what I want for this year.
We need to start, getting rid of the garbage, right?
And I want to see
throwing out the trash.
I want to see continued success from our players in the NCAA and then the juniors. Yep. That's what I want to see. That's all I care about.
Can't agree more. And then lots of losses.
That's right. Lots of losses.
Yeah. All righty. So anything you want to say before we log off?
That's it, X.
All right. And then I just want to thank everybody for coming out. As always, love the interaction, the comments. Get ready for tomorrow. Opening game for the Islanders, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks, Grumpy. Thanks, guys.
My pleasure.